What's up, family? It's your boy Jordan. Who it's not about me, it's all about God. Listen, today I'm not even rocking my brand. I'm rocking two different brands. I'm rocking Rock Bottom by Reggie Rock. You can check out his merch and also check out his music. Dopest rapper that I know. And I also got God is Dope. So you can check out their merch as well. Today is personal. Today is a dope conversation. So lock in, tune in, subscribe, and let's go. Who Wednesdays? You know I love it.
If the Bible was rewritten and the writers put me in it, I wonder how my life would read. Wicked people that have heard of me read just to learn of me, be turned away by what they see. Or what they slump in their sofas, blown away and sober, but my life didn't come to believe. Or what they do it once over, read the pages of my life, and once it's over, close the book and say, that's not how I wanna be. And that's a sad commentary when I'm buried under the public to see. But I pray that they remember me for walking in integrity, being what God called me to be.
Today's video was entitled Diary of a Struggling Christian. Listen, I feel like all of us can relate to this because, listen, this Christian walk is not easy, okay? So, first of all, I want to let y'all know. I know a lot of times y'all probably look at these videos, either the ones that I posted here on YouTube, the ones on Facebook, Instagram, all that, and be like, Jordan saved, Jordan got it all together. No, I don't. Listen, I struggle as much as the next man, but I want to make this video because I feel like we all relate, all right? So here's a little bit about me. I'm saved, good and saved, but at the same time, I ain't been living that way. I'm the definition of a backslider. Like, if backslider was a dance, I'm moonwalking in my Christianity. Like, hear my salvation, and I'm getting back, okay? Because I never knew how to be a Christian. I think a lot of people know how to be churchy folk and know how to live the church lifestyle, but a lot of people don't know how to be Christians. And that's literally denying yourself, denying your flesh, denying your desires. And that's hard, man, because it's like this. We still want to have fun and do all this stuff. Like, I'm one of them Christians who I still be wanting to go to the club. Listen, ain't nothing for Christians. Sometimes I be getting mad at being a Christian because I be like, ain't nothing for Christians to do. But at the same time, it's a whole lot for Christians to do. The reality is, a lot of times what happens is we compare ourselves to the world. And so the world, they got the club, they got the strip club, they got the music, they got all this stuff. And it's like, dog, all Christians got is church. That's not true. It's a lot of dope things you can do as a Christian. But anyway, I digress. I think it's hard because, like, for me, I struggle because I was always on that thin line of wanting to do what God has called me to do, but at the same time wanting popularity. In fact, I struggled in my Christian walk doing what God called me to do because I wanted popularity. Popularity is cool. And I don't know why people like to talk about popularity like popularity is this evil thing. Nah, popularity wouldn't be popular if it wasn't cool. Like, I don't know why Christians be trying to act like the things of the world ain't cool. You was out there sinning, smoking and drinking, heathen, and you knew you didn't like it. No, I like sin. I like smoking weed. I like being in the club. I like the strip club. Let's be honest. I'm tired of these little, laid back testimonies. Nah, I like the strip club. I like the women. I liked it. I liked it, it did. How y'all be saying, liked it, it did. I liked it, but here's the reality. My spirit didn't like it, and my future didn't like it, because I realized that when you start doing that stuff, you end up in a cycle. And I know a lot of people be like, oh, you only going to the club because you're trying to find something to fill that void. I ain't really got no void. I like the club. They twerking in here. They don't twerk in the church. But what's happening is, sometimes what happens is, it's not always a void, but sometimes when you don't have identity or you're still trying to find yourself, what happens is you will be there. Now, here's the reality. For us who are Christians, there are times that we don't fit in. I did not fit in. And so, but I still try to make it to where I could fit in. That's why I had to get as high as I could get as drunk as I could. I mean, listen, I've been doing everything I could to have a good time, but I realized I wasn't making a difference. I wasn't changing lives. I wasn't helping folk. I wasn't helping myself. The purpose aside, I wasn't doing nothing for Jordan. I'm in the club having a good time doing nothing for Jordan. Do you understand how much money I done spent in the club on bottles trying to prove to these girls that I had money? I ain't trying to do that no more. But listen, I think the reality is, for us, when we say that we're struggling Christians, I'm a struggling Christian in the sense of sometimes it's hard to remove and deny myself and deny the flesh, because the flesh wants what the flesh wants. The flesh wants the women, the flesh wants the weed, the flesh wants the liquor, the flesh wants these things, the flesh wants it. And I'm like, church got to stop acting like we don't want it. We do. But the reality is we have to make a conscious effort to say, you know what, that's not what I want. And it's hard. Let me tell you this, like, I don't want people thinking like as soon as you get saved or as soon as you accept Christ, like your life, you just ain't gonna want the liquor. Like the Lord just gonna deliver you from the taste of liquor. Nah, dog, you still gonna like Hennessy. You might like it. You might like your Crown Apple and Coke. You know, put it in some juice. Oh my God, pineapple juice and Crown. That's not saved me. Listen, I don't drink no more. Well, I try not to. Listen, the reality is it's a struggle. It is hard. It is hard. Like the walk of salvation is not an easy walk, but the reality is it's a necessary walk, because the thing is, when you're living in the moment, that moment could mess up your ministry. And a lot of people, when we get to talk about ministry, y'all think preaching and teaching. No. Your ministry is your household. And the thing is, people be running to the club, running to the drinks, running to the weed, running to the women, running to the dudes, whatever you run to, that's your piece, that's your thing. Eventually, that runs out. That thing runs out. And the reality is, guys, like, as hard as it can be, as hard as I struggle, I'm talking about on a daily basis, dog, sometimes I be forgetting to pray, and sometimes I forget to read my word. Sometimes I forget because it's not in me, but I know what is in me. What has been in me has been, I know to go watch that porn video. I know to go text that girl and be like, hey girl, what you doing? That's why sometimes God will remove everything that will allow you to attach yourself to distractions. I done lost cars, so many cars, but I notice that God always takes away the very vehicle or my means of transportation to get to sin. And the thing is, sin is fun. Sin will keep you longer than you want to be kept, and it'll take you further than you want to go. And the reality is, if we really want to live this thing for God and be all that God has called us to be, we have to denounce sin. In fact, the Bible would tell us to flee from sin. Do you know what it means to flee, to run? Like, imagine sin being a dude with a gun. You ain't gonna be sitting there like, you got a gun, come here. No, if you got a gun, he's trying to kill you, guess what? You gotta get out of the way of sin. In fact, you don't even want to be in the vicinity, because understand, sin is like a bullet. It has no eyes, but it will kill you. And so the thing is, sin has slowly been killing us. Have you ever looked at some people in the club and be like, how old is you? And they be like 19 and they look 45 because all they've been doing is smoking, drinking, and hunching all their life. You literally are like releasing your soul. You're releasing your spirit, man. And the reality is, you have too much greatness on the inside of you to waste it on relationships and on people and in environments that are not conducive to your future. And the club is not conducive to your future. I don't care how much money you make in the club. Listen, strippers are making money right now, but it's not about the money. We cannot get so caught up in the money and in the entertainment factor, in the fun and being lit and being all this, that we miss that our soul is more important than this moment. And here's the real thing. A lot of us be like, I got time. First of all, you don't know the time nor the hour. You could be like, I got time, period, poop, boom, you dead. Because you never know where you are. You never know what situation could take place. And the reality is, wouldn't you rather be doing something that's going to benefit you? Listen, y'all can have a good girls' night and sip on some wine. Don't get drunk, but sip on some wine, watch some movies, and have a good time. You ain't got to go to the club. You ain't got to do all these things. But at the same time, if you're struggling with your walk, listen, I would admonish you to connect yourself to a church that just don't make you get excited. Listen, stop going to these churches just because they tell you touch your neighbor and turn around 3 times and a blessing on the way. That's not biblical, okay? You need to go somewhere that's going to pour into you, that's going to challenge you, and understand the difference between challenging, conviction, and judging. Because a lot of times we go to church and we're like, I don't want to go there because they judging me. No, they calling you out on your mess. And sometimes you got to get called out on your mess so that you can be the best version of you. I used to hate it when people talk about having sex in church and going to the club at church and smoking weed in church. I'm like, why y'all judging me? And they ain't even talking to me. Or the men would tell me something about the way that I'm carrying myself. And I'm like, y'all just judging me. No. They're telling me about myself so I can be the best version of me and I can be all that God has called me to be. So watch this. I want to speak into your life right now. There's somebody watching this video and you've been struggling with your walk. And it's like you want to still turn up. You still want to have fun. You want to do all these things. And I'm not against enjoying life, but what I am against is doing things that you think you're enjoying, but really the devil is enjoying watching you go through it because he understands that he's snatching you away from the very thing that God has for you. Listen, you have too much purpose on your life to be wasting your time trying to find things to enjoy when God is like, listen, it's not about right now. In fact, he'll make sure that you still have a good time. He'll make sure that you enjoy the fruits of your labor, but you got to work first before you enjoy the fruits. And so you got to be who God has called you to be. It's a process. I know you still may struggle with it. I know sometimes you're like, you know what, I'd rather give into the sin because the sin is more convenient. But the thing is, Christianity is not about your convenience. It's about the calling. And if you're called to greater, let me let you know, you got to let that thing go. You got to let the smoking go, the drinking go, the sex go, all that. Purify yourself, sanctify yourself. Reggie Rock told me that the other day. Sanctify yourself. Sanctify yourself so that you can be all that God has called you to be. You don't want to struggle no more. You don't want to be stuck no more. You don't want to be in a position where you're like, you know what, I'm tired. Because understand something, sin will wear you out and drain you to the point where you want to give up and you're tapped out and you don't want to do nothing else. Because it's like, I've been doing this and where am I going? It's folk that's 45 years old still in the club and it's like, dog, you ain't retired yet. At some point, you got to retire from the club. Like, you can retire with a 401k from BMW, but what you gonna get from the club? All you can say is, girl, you remember last week when that boy was looking at me and I was like, I period poop. No, like, listen, there is more to life. There is more to you. And I know you're struggling. I'm struggling. But the reality is, the struggle don't last long. Storms don't last long. But what are you going to do in the midst of the storm? What are you going to do? Like, are you going to challenge yourself to get better? Are you going to challenge yourself to pray more, to get in your word more? And can you see that your life is bigger than you? Bigger than the moment, bigger than the fun. I'm not sitting here saying that you got to go into this super safe place where you can't enjoy life. No, what I'm saying is you got to remove yourself from sin. Remove yourself from those things that you're struggling with, even the people that will cause you to still struggle, so that you can be all that God has called you to be. It's a process, and what I want you to know is, don't think you got to get delivered before you can do what God has called you to do. While you do it, God will deliver you. That's why the process is so dope, because as you're walking, guess what? You're walking into promise and you're walking away from the very thing that was trying to pull you back and hold you down. That's why if you really start walking into purpose, you start noticing you're losing friends, that you don't like being in certain atmospheres anymore, that you can't do certain things, because the spirit in you, that spirit man, desires more. So I know we're struggling. But the struggle don't last long. It's hard right now because you still want to listen to all these crazy little artists, even the ones that y'all call queen. I'm going to leave it at that because I ain't got time for no bumblebees. Y'all like your other artists. But the thing is, we have to understand that there needs to be more God put in us than the world. And as you put more God in you and not this churchy culture where it's church and we can do all this and just, we know all the church lingo, but we don't know Christ. Get to know Christ. Go deeper in him. And as you go deeper, you'll see, as you go deep, he'll take you higher. And those very things that you were once struggling with, not just the sin stuff that everybody like to talk about in church, but even that deep stuff that don't nobody want to talk about. Even those struggles with your family and all those other things that you're like, you know what? I don't even see God showing up. The more you go deeper in him and the more you let it go and say, you know what? I'm not worried about it. I'm going to take one day at a time. You'll see God show up in your life. Listen, guys, I may drop another video on this, but that's what I got for today. Remember, you can purchase your merchandise for Jordan Who. Hit up Keita Thompson for Jordan Who merch. If you want rock bottom merch, hit up Reggie Rock. Rock bottom motivation starts here, nowhere to go but up. And then if you want a fly hoodie, you got God is Dope. I ain't even getting paid from God is Dope. I might have to post this and let them know, like, give me a check. Something. Listen, It's your boy Jordan Who. It's not about us. It's not about me. It's all about God. And if we're literally trying to deny ourselves and make God famous, we got to remove all those things that we like so much so that we can get to the God that we love more than anything.